It's Transformers96 here with another video review. This time we have the Marvel Legends Walmart exclusive Captain America Civil War Falcon figure. So yeah, Falcon has been a figure that's been just a long time coming. I was really hoping that they would do him for the Winter Soldier, and unfortunately they didn't. But now, luckily, we have him for Civil War at least. And you know, it's been such a shame because there hasn't been like Figure Arts hasn't made him either. So there's really been like no alternative to get a Falcon in this scale until now. As you can see, packaging pretty standard. What you'd expect from like a Captain America wave of Marvel Legends figures. This Walmart exclusive sticker I think is really bad. It just looks bad. It's just a big box, and it should be like Walmart at the top, and then it should say exclusive in 2 different languages. Instead, they have exclusive written in 2 different languages, like sandwiched in between the Walmart. I just think that looks a little strange there, but overall, not too happy with that sticker. It just kind of cheapens the entire packaging. So if you keep your figure mint, that is definitely not going to be something I think you'll prefer. Good artwork on the side. Alright, so let's go over the actual figure. So this is definitely the most anticipated one of this these two. They did release Falcon as well as the Winter Soldier. I've already reviewed Winter Soldier if you want to check that out. I started to see about 2 days ago these start to hit eBay really hard, so then I figured I'd try to hunt them down yesterday, which I did, and was very excited to do so. I went to about 3 Walmarts, and my last Walmart, they were at the very top shelf, and they were over the Star Wars figures. I had to use a lightsaber to knock them down, so I would definitely recommend, if you're going to hunt these down and you don't see them at first glance in the Marvel section, look around a bit and look at the top shelves. You might get lucky. So yeah, so let's get started onto the actual figure. This is a very special figure. Obviously, character-wise, he's super necessary for your MCU collection, and obviously it's a completely new sculpt. Nothing's reused here, which is exciting as well, because Marvel Legends definitely is a line that reuses pieces whenever it can. So it is nice to get a really original sculpt. Going over the actual head sculpt, I think the head sculpt is pretty decent. Nothing, too amazing with it, I have to say. It does resemble the actor a bit, but not a ton. Obviously, with the goggles on him, it doesn't need to resemble him a whole bunch, but I do think it looks decent. The red in the goggles looks pretty nice, and the expression is very stoic. I almost would kind of like a smirk. I think that Anthony Mackie, I kind of see him just with a smirk, so it might not look great if you have him in like a fighting pose, but I kind of want some personality in this figure, I have to say. But it's nothing too bad. As you can see, there is like a little thing that's extending from his strap that's going into his ear. So I don't know what that is actually for. If that's I think that it's just like the buckle, that there's just an extra that there's a bit more fabric from the buckle that's been pulled out. I think that that's what that is, or it's like a communications thing. I'm not sure, but it's not painted, so it does look quite strange. His hair is pretty standard. It's hard to tell. I think that it's just black. It looks like there's a bit of brown in there, but I think that just is like that's a mistake, actually, just like from his skin tone, and that's not like supposed to be a wash in his hair. So that is a shame, but it is extremely minute, so you really can't see it too much. The torso looks pretty decent. I like the sculpting in the torso. I think it looks good. Although I'm not a huge fan of the coloring. I wish that they did a bit of a darker gray here. I don't think that this is quite accurate. And then he has like this really light brown, almost a bit of a reddish type of detailing going on, like in the shoulder area and in the strap by the bicep, things like that. And then he does have red highlights, which do look quite neat, and just a little silver buckle right there at the in the chest. So a very small detail. He has black shorts, and then it goes back to this really light gray, what is it? Not quite boots, because it's really just, it's the same material, it's just different color, so the lower legs are kind of this light gray. I really don't like the light gray. Like I said, I would have much preferred it to be a darker gray. I think it would have been more accurate too, but that's okay. It is a small complaint. As far as the actual sculpt of the figure, I think it's pretty decent. He does seem to be slightly small, just figure-wise himself, in proportion to the other Marvel Legends figures. Like here's the Bucky that is in his wave, I guess you can say. It's just kind of like a 2-person wave, but still. And as you can see, you know, he is a bit smaller in scale than Bucky, which isn't great. However, I would imagine they did that to kind of compensate because of the extra plastic that you get with the wings and Red Wing accessory and things like that. So it's not a huge difference that it's going to be noticeable, but it is something that is definitely there. One thing that is very noticeable that I don't like is that the arms are too thin. They're too thin for his body. It is noticeable, however, it's not absolutely terrible. So, you know, it's annoying, but it's not something that you can't live with, basically. It's okay. And obviously, with his wings, you know, that's the main focus of the figure. That's what's really going to be drawing your eyesight to. So, the arms being a bit too thin is shouldn't be too annoying for you, I would say. From the side, it looks more, it looks better. Looks a little bit bulkier from the side, but from dead on, does definitely look like very small limbs. As far as articulation goes, before we go down to his exciting accessories, is that he has a ball-jointed head on a hinge. He can look up a decent amount, enough for flying poses and things, but not perfect. I would have liked him to look slightly more up. He can look down a bit as well. Then he has ball hinge shoulders with a bicep swivel, double hinge elbows, and hinge swivel wrist. He's got an ab crunch, which goes down just slightly, and it can go back a little bit further. You know, obviously with him being a flying figure, I would prefer it to go back further, so that is nice. But I wish that there was just an even a better range on the ab crunch. He has a swivel waist, ball jointed hips with a thigh swivel, double hinge knees, and hinge pivoting ankles. So overall, standard articulation for Marvel Legends, which is quite good. Now getting on to his accessories, before I talk about the wings, let's talk about his Red Wing. This is his pet bird from the comics that's obviously been turned into a drone in the actual movie. See if we can get a focus on that. There we go. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. From the bottom, not much going on. I mean, detail-wise, there's a decent amount of detail. There's just no paint. From the top, though, you do get a nice red stripe on it. It is it's a flat gray, but it's, you know, it does look pretty decent. It looks slightly silverish, but it is definitely gray. Unfortunately, he does have some red paint that's been kind of splattered on his wing there, which doesn't look too good, which is kind of annoying, but it is a very small little detail. But overall, this is nice. It would have been great to get like some sort of a thing that you can peg it into, so it could be kind of like hovering next to him. But unfortunately, there's not only no hole to peg it into anything if you had it yourself, but it doesn't come with that, obviously, too. So that is a shame. But overall, it's a nice little accessory, something that they could have easily skipped, but glad that they didn't. He has his backpack. The backpack has a little space in it, which Red Wing attaches into, so you can remove this when you have Red Wing flying around like he's just shot out of his backpack. But, you know, it is nice that they made that removable, but it's really not too necessary, but it's kind of neat. His wings peg in very nicely, and it's a very strong peg in, so, you know, I was worried that the wings could be wanting to fall off. Luckily, they do not, though. The wings are detailed really nicely and have a large wingspan. Let's see if I can give you a full look at the wings. Yeah, as you can see, really nice wingspan. They go out very far, and definitely it does seem to be in scale with the actual figure as it is in the movie, so I do like that quite a bit. I also love the fact that the wings are curved. I think that that's so cool. Like, I saw a review where the wings were curved, and I was like, you know, I'm hoping that's everybody's, that they're all like that, and that's not just this one guy's copy. And luckily, it does turn out that I think that they did it on purpose, where they actually have the wings curved. I think that that looks so much better than them being completely straight. I mean, with the 3/4" version, the Diamond Select version, even Hot Toys' version, the wings are all completely straight. They can, the Hot Toys one, you know, they can angle down, but they're still just straight. So I love the fact that they're curved. They feel more like organic wings, which I like a lot, and they have more character to them when they're curved. They look better in a pose, and they're so much better when they're curved. And if you want, you can reverse the wings so that they're being curved out. The only thing is you have to peg it in from the back of the backpack instead of underneath the backpack, and therefore they're not in there as sturdy as they are in this position. But anyway, love the fact that the wings are curved. I think that just looks great, and that's just absolutely fantastic, I would have to say. So overall, this figure is really nice. You know, when you get him on like a flight stand too, he can look quite nice. You can obviously put his hands up like he's holding the little things on his wings. I don't think that he actually does that in Civil War, though, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that he has handles on his wings anymore. But overall, really do love this figure. Character-wise, for sure. I mean, it's a must-have. He's a main Avengers character, and and this figure represents him extremely nicely. So overall, highly recommend this figure. Definitely going to need it to complete your team. I cannot wait to get Scarlet Witch from the Abomination Wave to complete Team Captain America. You know, they're going to look great together. I will be definitely posting pictures of them on my Instagram as soon as I get Scarlet Witch. But overall, an excellent character and a figure that does the character a decent amount of justice. You know, it has its flaws, but for the amount that you get with this figure, I think that it is definitely worth it. So there you go. That's my video review of the Marvel Legends Captain America Civil War Walmart exclusive Falcon figure. Let me know what you guys think of this figure, and thanks so much for watching.